Forests Worth Knowing is a professional development opportunity for Maritime Atlantic area teachers. Developed in cooperation with government, industry, and academic organizations, this unique program provides first-hand experiences and insights into maritime forests, the people who work to manage them, and who make the products we use in our everyday life. Located approximately halfway between the equator and North Pole, the Maritimes experience a wide range of annual temperatures and precipitation. Growing conditions vary from exposed coastal and upland areas with thin soils to sheltered inland sites with good soils and adequate moisture. This region, known as the Acadian forest, is where the Boreal forest overlaps with the northern hardwood forest. Growing conditions in this region are suited to many northern and southern tree species. This overlapping creates a rich biodiversity and supports tree species that can be used for many different forest products and ecological services. Unlike most of Canada, most maritime forests are privately owned. Ownership varies from small woodlots to large-scale industrial freehold. Having so many owners with different goals and management abilities provides both challenges and opportunities to forest sectors. The remainder of maritime forests are publicly owned and managed for a wide range of public goods and services, and often to provide high-quality forest products. The program begins with a basic introduction to local forests, how maritime forests are managed and used, the types of products manufactured here, the education and skills people bring when working in today's forest sector, the sciences used in decision-making processes, and how diverse groups and organizations work together to support each other in many different forest values. Our intent is to create dialogue between forest professionals and professional educators by encouraging teachers to ask questions, gaining firsthand insights into how people manage forests and create forest products, and understanding how we all benefit from healthy, productive forests. Teachers often bring the knowledge they gain back to their schools, to their students, and to their daily lives.
Over the course of the 23-year history, the Forests Worth Knowing Atlantic Teachers Tour has provided professional educators with a better understanding of resource management in looking at all the values in an economic sense, ecological, and social aspects of managing the resource in a sustainable manner. Some of the key benefits of the tour provide professional educators hands-on experience. So we're going into the woods, we're going into the mills, and we're talking to true professionals that are responsible to manage the resource on a daily basis. That in itself provides the opportunity for putting a human face to the industry, and also the opportunity to ask complex questions and observing career opportunities that exist within the forestry sector. As we go through the tour, you'll gain a better understanding of society's needs for forest products, as well as discovering the manufacturing process to manufacture or produce those products that everyone uses on a daily basis. As a group, the dynamics, bringing teachers from across the Atlantic area, it provides opportunities to network, to learn from each other. One interesting aspect of the tour is bringing subject matter experts to present the science and the art of managing the resource. Throughout the tour, you're going to hear from private contractors, engineers, woodlot owners, wildlife biologists, foresters, forest technicians, providing you with an overview of the careers that are available in our forestry sector. There's a plethora of opportunities that exist, and we're looking for that next generation of youth and young people to consider the forestry sector as a career path.
Most professions have their own special terms and concepts, and forestry is no different. Before we go to the mills or forest, we want to introduce some of the more common terms and concepts to ensure a common understanding.
So most of these definitions can be used in a forest, but sometimes there are terms which are used to a specific area. Somebody might say in a province, they might use a different term from that, but they kind of mean the same thing. And some of the definitions, of course, are defined by users. Somebody who's really into birds may look at a forest in a different way than somebody who's a forester or a botanist or a fire manager. But one of the most important things is, what is a forest? Well, it's obvious, of course, it's trees, but what does that actually mean? So for the sake of this particular tour, we are looking at something that's at least 10 hectares, 25 acres. It's dominated by, of course, woody vegetation, which we would otherwise call trees. And those trees can reach a height of at least 10 meters at some point in their lifespan and a diameter of at least 10 centimeters. So what is silviculture? It's kind of the same thing as agriculture. It is the science of establishing, growing a healthy forest that meets the objective of the landowner. Okay, and it could include such things as trying to reach a particular species, improve the timber quality of those trees, create wildlife habitat, harvest a crop, and or all of those different things and many, many more. What is forest certification? Well, it's an independent, so this is not owned by forest companies, but it's an independent third-party audit and reporting system. So if I was a forest company wish to be certified that my operations, the products that I produce are environmentally friendly, that we've met local standards for business, respect for First Nations, those kinds of things, that would be independently audited. And if I was found to be sort of not in compliance with those particular things, then possibly I lose my certification, which I really don't want. What are tree products? Well, bottom of the tree is where you get the big saw logs, because that's the biggest part of the tree. Halfway up, you're going to get, again, smaller saw logs, make 2x4s, those kinds of things. And the top is often where you get pulp. And I have had this call at my office many times with people who say they're taking all the small trees, they're taking all the small trees, but it's not the small trees. The small part of the tree is the top part of the tree. And on the log truck, you don't know where that actually came from. And that's why it looks like small trees are leaving.
Many teachers are interested in learning what types of trees grow here and their importance for forest products, wildlife, ecosystem protection, tourism, and more. On opening day, we help teachers identify the most common forest tree species in a hands-on and fun manner.
What kind of tree is that? Our first tree idea of the day.
Red maple.
Okay, what was it? Anybody else think?
Poplar?
Okay, can we all agree it's a maple tree? Yeah. We can? We can? Okay, I'm going to give that to you. So, how do you tell the difference in a red maple and a sugar maple? Anybody learn that yet? Has something to do with the pointiness. Ragged red, ragged red. See the sharp serrated teeth all around the edge? You'll see it now. We got two samples going around both sides, so you can take a look at. Ragged is red, so it's got this V shaped in the sinus here between the lobes. That's sharp. Okay, that's V. So that's ragged is red or rough. If you like rough, ragged red. How does that contrast with this?
Classic maple.
What is it?
It's like classic. Rough maple.
It's not serrated. It's not rough. It's not ragged. So what might it be? Okay, this is sugar maple, and we all know sugar maple is famous for maple syrup. Did you know that red maples can make maple syrup?
Yeah. It's not as sweet though.
It's about half as sweet, red maple syrup, just generally. But you can make it, and it's very good. In fact, my favorite maple syrup is from red maple trees. Yeah, paddle tools, I swear by it. So, how do you know that that's sugar maple from identification purpose? How are you going to remember this in the future and tell your students?
This is the classic one.
Smooth, but even better, the sign in between the lobes, it's a U, as in sugar. The U is in the word sugar, so it's got that U shape between the lobes. Red maple is V, sharp. Sugar maple is U shape, so that's sugar baby. Now, another type of spruce, has anyone ever made the mistake of bringing in a spruce tree into the home for Christmas and have a certain smell? Cat pea, otherwise known as what tree species? White spruce. I want everybody to take a needle and crush it in their hands, and then you'll never forget what it smells like.
A forest is more than just trees, and forests provide us with more things than just wood. Understanding the many different goods and services forests offer, and how forest professionals work with forest ecosystems to conserve these values is a critical part of the Forest Worth Knowing experience.
What comes to mind was when I mentioned the term ecological forestry. Sustainability, yes. Anything else?
Forestry, keeping like biodiversity.
Keeping biodiversity, wildlife. Okay, so, and one other. Anything else?
Uneven aging.
Uneven age. Okay, so the fact that we're going to talk about that in terms of the structure of the forest, things like that. That relationship between ecological forestry and ecosystems is really fundamental because it recognizes, in fact, that basically the practice of forestry, regardless of whether we're talking about actually harvesting timber, growing the trees, or looking after the biodiversity, has a fundamental, I guess, fundamental basis or in terms of ecosystems themselves. So understanding what ecosystems are, I don't know if any of you are science teachers. Those of you that are, you'll certainly have a better understanding of ecosystems, but ecosystems, right? It's the biotic and the abiotic. It's the living and the non-living interacting together with their environment.
One of the primary aspects of the tour is to ensure that you recognize your own importance as professional educators. You play a significant role in passing on a lot of the information that we share during the tour, bringing it into your classrooms and allowing you to make informed decisions and choices as to managing the resource in a sustainable manner.